Cognizant to the needs of our learners, parents, and teachers, the Department of Education provided us with powerful tools for productivity that will allow us to foster critical thinking skills, problem-solving skills, communication and collaboration skills to be compassionate, responsible global citizens. Join us and discover new ideas in our series of professional development training program with the ICTS Edtech Unit and Microsoft Education Philippines. Together, we will equip our learners and empower our fellow educators for a dynamic future. Para sa bata, para sa bayan, at para sa guro. Sulong Edukalidad.
Magandang araw, Sir Wilbur po, at your service. Magandang araw, Sir Wilbur po, at your service. Narito ang ETUlay upang gabayan ka sa inyong pag-aaral upang lubos na maunawaan ang iba't ibang paksa o subject. Ang ETUlay ay isang free online tutorial class na pinangungunahan ng ICTS Educational Technology Unit sa pamumuno ni Undersecretary Elaine Del P. Pascual. Magandang araw, Sir Wilbur po, at your service. Narito ang ETUlay upang gabayan ka sa inyong pag-aaral upang lubos na maunawaan ang iba't ibang paksa o subject. Ang ETUlay ay isang free online tutorial class na pinangungunahan ng ICTS Educational Technology Unit sa pamumuno ni Undersecretary Elaine Del P. Pascual. Ang programang ito ay hindi lamang para sa mga bata, kundi ito rin ay magsisilbing gabay sa mga magulang at mga guro kung paano nila ituturo o gagabayan sa bawat asignatura ang kanilang mga anak o mga estudyante. Sa kasalukuyan, ang self-learning module mula sa rehiyon ng Calabarzon at kilala sa tawag na pivot ang ginagamit sa ating ETUlay online class. Kaya ano pang hinihintay ninyo? Ihanda na ang inyong mga ballpen o lapis, papel o kwaderno at samahan kaming itulay ang pagkatuto para sa bawat batang Pilipino. Sama-sama tayong magtutulungan para malampasan ang mga hamon sa panahong ito. Halina't matuto kasama ang inyong online tutor sa oras na ito.
Hello! Mapagpalang araw po sa inyong lahat, sa ating mga learners, parents, and teachers. Welcome po sa ating ETUlay online tutorial for health optimizing physical education. And this is intended particularly for grade 12 students. Again, ako po si Tutor Shen, ang inyong gabay para mas maunawaan ang lesson at mga learning tasks para sa asignaturang ito. Again po, ang ating Physical Education and Health or Hope4 ay every Tuesday from 11 o'clock to 12 o'clock noon. And highly appreciated po kung inyong ilalike and share ang mga Facebook pages na makikita po sa inyong screen. So we have there the DepEd Edtech Unit, DepEd Philippines, and DepEd tayo. Gayon din po, you can subscribe po sa ating YouTube channel, DepEd Edtech Unit and DepEd TV. Okay? And at this moment po, allow me to welcome at batiin po natin ang ating mga viewers sa iba't ibang sulok ng mundo. Okay, so pagbati po kay DS Villamor Plaza, kay Madeline Ann Diaz watching from SDO Muntinlupa. Good morning. And welcome Merlene Bailocon from Tubac High School. Also, magandang umaga sa iyo. Dina Barcenas from Maria Aurora Central School. Also to Elizabeth Roca, good morning from Ilayang Dupay Elementary School. Welcome, Renji Amaro from SDO Pampanga. Also, good morning, Noel Valerio from Dasmariñas Elementary School. Okay, watching from Rizal San Agustin. Okay, from Parañaque, Princess Cristal de Villa. Okay, good morning, Jonalyn Quiapo from Talomo National High School. Also to Lilibet Biento Regalado from Caloocan, watching from Caloocan. Good morning po. Welcome, Hannah Maria Laresa Hamon. Gian Silvestre from Maria Aurora Central School. Welcome to ETUlay online tutorial for Hope 4. GP Du from SDO Catanduanes. Kay Tela Mary Jane Casiple, good morning. Okay, Charmaine Angara, good morning. Also to Chenelyn Habay-Habay and Rolando de la Cruz from Cristo Rey East, Capas Central District. Magandang umaga muli sa inyong lahat, and I am happy to have our lesson for week 4. Nasa week 4 na tayo for quarter 3, and our lesson for today is about analyze physiological indicators applied to outdoor swimming and camping. Okay, it's indicators, okay? And let me emphasize our most essential learning competency. It's analyzes physiological indicators such as heart rate, okay, rate of perceived exertion, and pacing associated with MVPAS or the moderate vigorous physical activities to monitor and or adjust your participation or effort. And here is our main objective for today's lesson. It's we have to describe the nature and background of outdoor swimming and camping. So our recreational activity for today is about outdoor swimming and camping. Aside from that, we will analyze the physiological indicators. So again, what are these? Let's have a review about the physiological indicators such as the heart rate, the RPE or rate of perceived exertion, and as well as the pacing associated with the MVPAS to adjust or monitor the participation or effort. And lastly, to select specific aspect of physiological indicators that add value when approaching MVPA's monitoring. And let's have a review again. So ano nga po ulit ang ating lesson last week for week 3? Now, can you tell me, my dear students po, what was our topic for lesson 3 last week? We deal with, can you please type in your comment box? Okay, while waiting for your answer kung ano yung lesson natin, no, let me greet Melanie Duhinog from General Tiburcio de Leon National High School. Good morning, Angelica and Camille. And also Evelyn. Okay, I see the answer po. No? Yes, our lesson last week is about mountaineering. Yes, that's correct, Angelica Joy de la Cruz. Okay, and talking about mountaineering, again, it's a sport for mountain climbing. So that was our topic for lesson 3. We talk about what is mountaineering, what are the activities, and also the essential. What are these essentials when we go mountaineering? Now, aside from that, from mountaineering, we have these 2 common activities. We have the hiking and trekking. Again, ano nga po ang pagkakaiba ng hiking and trekking? Anybody from our dear participants? So how will you define differentiate rather hiking and trekking? Ano po ang pagkakaiba nila? Now, they could differ when it comes to the duration and also the intensity of the activity and even the preparation. Can you give some of your learnings last week when it comes to the difference between hiking and trekking? Okay, so all right, so I'll greet Trixie Derry. Good morning from General Tiburcio de Leon National High School. Okay, let's have Camille's answer po, no? Sabi ni Camille, hiking is a kind of is a moderate type of activity, and trekking can be a vigorous type of activity. All right. Okay, thank you for that, Camille. Now let's have Cedric Hilario. Uh, he mentioned that hiking involves a long, energetic walk in a natural. Yes, that's right. You are really engaged with the natural environment when it comes to mountaineering activities. Okay, and trekking, yes, it involves a long, vigorous hike in what it can be in wild, natural environments for multiple days. Very good. Yes, that's also correct. Now, for Hannah Hamon, hiking it usually lasts less than a day, between 2 to 8 hours. Yes, and while trekking, anywhere between a few days. Very good. All right, very good answers from our participants. Yes, that's the difference between hiking and trekking. So we could see that um, ang preparation, even the trails and intensity, no, mas challenging when it comes to trekking compared to hiking. Okay, so thank you for your participation. Sa iba pang nagsasagot about the difference between hiking and trekking, and your answers are correct. Now, moving on, when it comes naman po sa mga mountaineering essential, what are the mountaineering essentials? So, when you plan to go hiking or trekking with friends, ano po dapat ang ating mga dapat dalhin when we engage in this kind of activity? Let me greet Franken. Yeah, from General De Leon National High School. Okay, Laksamana Rosemary, yeah, good morning po. From Manuel G. Arroyo High School. Yes, for Adrian Hibaler, sabi niya, you have to bring water. Very good. Kay Hannah Hamon again, she mentioned, yes, you need your backpack. So, dyan mo lalagay yung mga gamit mo with your backpack. And yeah, mostly not, sabi nila, water. For trekking, sabi ni Christine Joy Malabad Fiesta, you need a rope. Okay. For Chenelyn, she mentioned about you need your footwear. So it can be your hiking shoes, hiking boots. What else? For Lanilyn naman, no, habay-habay, she mentioned trekking pole. Yeah, this could assist you. Especially sa may mga knee problems, no, you can have this trekking pole. What else? Okay, for Mercine Rosa Bandal, yes, she mentioned about first aid in case of emergency or accidents that might happen during the activity. Adrian Grace Hibaler, she mentioned about food. Yes. Okay, very good answer. So those are some of the mountaineering essentials. Like, yeah, especially your backpack. It includes several things of yours. Probably your sleeping bag, your food, your knife, your sufficient food for that particular activity. Yeah, you also have your footwear. May nagsabi pa, yes, topographic map. Okay, very good. Yes, okay, yes, Lorda, no, na-mention niya pa yung dalawang kinds ng backpack. You have there the internal and also the external backpack. Wow, very good, students. You really learned from your week 3 lesson. Good job on that. Okay, and start na po tayo sa ating lesson proper for our week 4 lesson. And let's have a short activity first. Ready? Now, can you give me a thumbs up if you're ready? Kung ready na po kayo, can you give me a thumbs up in the comment box? Yes, Jolene Jean Casilan, yeah, watching from Zambong City. Okay, Angelica Okay. Okay, very good. Ready na ang ating mga estudyante, ang ating mga grade 12 students today. And for our activity, we have, let me ask you the question, no? What are the physiological indicators associated with physical activities? Again, let's have a recap. Yes, nakikita ko na yung maraming thumbs up nila. Okay. Now, can you mention, ano po kaya itong mga physiological indicators? A sort of review as well, back when you were in grade 11, you have studied the physiological indicators. What are these? Opo, tama po, no? Ang isa sa mga physiological indicators, again and again, when we talk about physiological indicators, these are very helpful for us kasi ito yung mga responses ng ating katawan when it comes to the changes as well ng ating environment. Okay, so sabi nila, yes, we have there the heart rate. Yeah, that's one physiological indicators. What else aside from heart rate? That is correct. Okay, your answer, it's about the RPE, yung sinasabi natin, rate of perceived exertion. Very good, Shanilyn. Yes, so we have this RPE, and also we have our pacing. Yes, so those are some physiological indicators. Now, next one is we have the bananagrams. And I want you to rearrange. After you rearrange the letters, okay, I want you to think of a similar word, okay, yung synonyms of this word. Let's start with the first one po, no? Let's have number 1. Now, can you please rearrange the first one and then tell me what is a synonym or a similar word for our first word? Okay, the answer from Hannah Tremillas, yes, the correct answer is pacing. Very good. Now, can you give me same thing with Kyla Banal, no? Pacing ang kanyang answer. Now, can you give me a similar word for pacing? Okay, sinagot na yung number 2 ni Camille, no? Yes, that is heart rate. But before that, no, let's have the pacing first. How are we what is a similar word for the word pacing? Pag sinabi nating pacing, no, what is pacing? It is what? Can you think of a word? Okay, somehow related to walk pacing. Yeah, so again, yes, for pacing, no, you can identify your pacing with your walking, with your, yes, it's a movement when you walk. And what else? My pacing rate of doing activities. Yeah, so particularly your idea about pacing, no, when you move, especially when you walk, what is your rate of pacing when you walk? So meaning to say, when it comes to pacing, it's the speed, okay, of a certain activity. Okay. It can be, your pacing can be slow, all right. Sabi ni Cedric, no, you can walk at a steady and consistent speed. Very good. Very good job. Now, how about for number 2? Actually, nasabi na yung answer, no? Heart rate. May nagsabi na ng heart rate. Now, can you give me a similar word for heart rate? Okay, so for number 2, heart rate, yeah, we have there. For Hannah, sabi niya heart rate, the beating of your heart. Very good. What else? Yeah, also kay Krisa, no, sabi niya, similar with the beat. Heart rate, yes, you also have mentioned, sabi ni, the pulse rate, sabi ni Heliana Marie Ramos. Very good. So those are similar words with heart rate. Now let's have number 3. How about for number 3? Can you please rearrange the word? What do we have for number 3? And your Joshua's answer, Joshua Adrian, he said it's exertion. And nasabi niya na rin is, similar word for it is effort. Very good. Yeah, John Patrick, yes, may question mark, but your answer is correct. That's exertion. Can you give other synonyms of exertion? Sabi kanina, there is an effort. Yeah, effort to do an activity. The energy, okay, your energy to do a certain movement. Okay, good job, students. Yeah, for your exertion, yeah, kay Gymnet Balyesa, no? It can be it can be in a form of hard work, your exertion, how hard you do a certain activity, the strength you put into a certain activity for Aljon Patricio. Okay, thank you for your answers, students. Yeah, so pacing, heart rate, and then exertion. These are, again, our physiological indicators associated with physical activities. Once again, good job. And now, let's also focus, no, our topic for today for another recreational activities. We have the outdoor camping and swimming. So for our participants for today, sino na po sa inyo ang naka-experience ng outdoor camping? Okay, can you type yes if you were able to experience outdoor camping and swimming? Especially before the pandemic, when you were in elementary or junior high school. Sabi ni Ronald Ronquillo, yes. Okay, na-experience na ng outdoor camping and swimming. Even Rainson Lagunsad. Okay. Kamusta po ang inyong experience sa outdoor camping and swimming? So sabi din ni Sam Toledo Aquino. Okay, even so marami sa ating mga participants, no? Mercine, Marvin, Beatrice, Aljon, Joshua. So marami sa ating mga participants ang naka-experience nga ng outdoor camping and swimming. Sabi ni Angelica, based on her experience, masaya. Masaya po. Okay. Well, that's good that you really enjoy this kind of activity. It's another outlet for us to enjoy and to bond with friends or family. Sabi ni Helena Ramos, full of enjoyment. Yeah, so we can gain a lot of benefits with outdoor camping and swimming. Sabi pa ni Aljon Patricio, it's enjoyable and memorable. Now let's define what is outdoor camping muna, no? So I think a sort of review with outdoor camping, since you were able to experience this one. Yes, outdoor camping is one of the exciting outdoor recreational activities one could ever experience. So kagaya ng inyong mga comments, nakaka-enjoy. And camping, when it comes to camping, you might associate camping to Girl Scout activities or Boy Scout activities. Sige nga po, sino po sa ating mga viewers ang mga Boy Scout and Girl Scout? Can you type thumbs up po? Sino po ang ating mga Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts laging handa? Well, definitely, when it comes, if you are a member of, if you are a Girl Scout or a Boy Scout, napaka-common ang camping na activity? Sabi ni Ronald Ronquillo, ako po. Sabi ni Glyza, siya ay Girl Scout ng elementary at high school. Gayun din si Adrian, si Sam. Marami ang ating mga campers, mga Girl Scout and Boy Scout. Now, definitely, you already have the idea how fun and what are some of the activities when it comes to outdoor camping. For camping, we can consider a camp by means of front country camping. Ang front country camping, it's also called car camping. And this type of camping usually parang maglo-long drive kayo, and then what you have to do is you're going to camp. You're going to make your camp probably in parks. So yun yung mga common, no? And naghahanap lang kayo ng spot for you to camp with. Syempre, there are also different markings which made this known as travel trail camping. Okay? And kapag front country camping, somehow accessible pa to sa mga essential needs natin. Probably sa mga seaside, alright? Those are some locations for front country camping. And we have also the second one, we have here the back country camping. Now, this is the opposite of the front country camping. Kapag back country camping, sabi natin, it is more planned, and you must really physiologically prepared. Because in a back country camping, no, you're not near a road or a developed area. Wala talagang yung accessibility mo when it comes to the facilities. Okay, walang parking lots, no place to park. Okay, yan ay mga that's how we can describe about backcountry camping. Now, here are some tips to prepare for a safe camping. So we have here the first one na sabi natin, no, isa sa mga kailangan nating tandaan is we have to stay local. So what's the meaning of stay local? It's you just have to choose a camp na, for example, in local parks, mga campgrounds, mountains, lakes, or beaches. Okay? Especially nasa tayo ng pandemic, no? This would eliminate non-essential travel outside your community. Actually, these are tips to prepare for a safe camping ni Dr. Lloyd 2020. Especially, we have to take proper precautions with the kind of situation we have. Next one, we have avoid busy times. So ano po yung avoid busy times na yan? Now, you can plan for camping during weekdays or other regular days, no? Instead sa mga busier vacation months or weekends and holidays. Kasi if we camp at busy times, mas exposed tayo, and yung risk natin being exposed to potentially asymptomatic individuals kapag mas maraming tao. That's the meaning of avoid busy times. Next, we have to travel. Let's just travel with our family for the meantime. Keeping a small group, napaka-importante yan when we travel. At least we know exactly the conditions ng mga kasama natin when we engage into camping. And napaka-importante po that we have to wash your hands. So frequent hand washing, alam natin na it slows the spread of COVID and other germs. And also, aside from that, syempre you have to wear your mask, or magbaon kayo ng mask, ng mga alcohol or hand sanitizers or disinfectants whenever you travel. So those are some tips that you have to prepare for a safe camping. Syempre kasama na dun yung preparation nyo, your food, the things that you need, the plan preparation on how long would you stay in a particular place or when you plan to go camping. Okay? Next, let's now have recreational swimming. Now, this is merely for fun ang recreational swimming. So there is a natural flotation of the body through neutral buoyancy in which the limbs, arms, and legs moves in coordination. Now, very different um, with competitive swimming na meron talaga, for example, backstroke, okay, or butterfly. But for recreational swimming, you just move and enjoy the water. Okay, even though yung iba nga parang tampisaw-tampisaw, you just play with the water. Okay, while bonding with your family or friends. So that is what we call recreational swimming. Lalo pat ngayon, no, summer na summer, masarap na mag-swimming. Okay, and for recreational swimming, no, it's really a great kind of exercise, and a certain activity to have fun and enjoy with your family and friends. And kapag recreational swimming, it will just provide you a low impact workout, and eventually this would create a good and relaxing feeling. Hindi katulad kapag halimbawa sa breaststroke, backstroke, side stroke, o yung mga freestyle na maaaring maging vigorous na yung type of activity. So for recreational swimming, this is just a low impact activity. Sino na po ba ang nakapag-swimming sa batya? Lalo pat kapag ang init-init ng panahon. Okay, now, when it comes to swimming, there are some tips as well. Friendly reminder for you to swim safely in rivers or other natural environments such as yung mga beach. Now we have here the first one, that you have to be aware of the hazard. Sabi ni Aljo, no, swimming na siya. Me po. Okay, so be aware of hazards and weather. Now, when you engage to recreational swimming, no, dapat inaalam din natin yung sa temperature, yung air or water temperature ng lugar. And ito ba ay you have to be also cautious when it comes to yung thunder and lightning, and yung lalo na kapag fast moving currents, no, wherein it can be very dangerous to the swimmers or the people who engage to recreational swimming. And also yung mga minsan kung di natin alam yung lugar, no, baka kasi unexpected natin, there would be change in the water depth ng lugar, mababaw tas biglang lalim. Okay, so you have to be aware on that. Okay, and also you also have to prepare some of the people's activities in the same waters, particularly for boating, no. Yes, you're correct, no, Rainson, yung height or depth, you should be aware on that. So that's for being aware of the hazards and the weather. Okay. And aside from that po, okay. Oh, hold on a second. I'm sorry po, no. We have there establish and enforce. I'm sorry for that. Now, when we talk about establish and enforce, we pertain that with the rules and safe behaviors. Okay. So, yung iba, no, as they establish yung engagement nila with the water, ang una na lang gagawin is yung paa nila, no. They will use their feet to check the safety, the depth of the water. Okay. Also, you shouldn't enter the water from a height, such as, for example, bridge or boat. And be careful when standing. Somehow, it would that would prevent you from being knocked over by currents or waves. And also, very important na meron kayong buddy, no? Swim with your friends. Now, in case of emergency or biglang may fast moving current, for example, um, someone could help you or ask for help in case of emergency. Next one is practice water safety steps. Okay, that would employ layers of protection. Okay, and mas maigi, no, na every member they know how to swim. Yan. And also, in case of emergency, you know what to do in a water emergency. Those are some of the water safety tips. Okay, and tips on how to swim in a safe swim safely in rivers and other natural environment. Aside from the tips, let's go on with the physiological indicators. Like what you've mentioned, we have there the heart rate, the RPE, and also the pacing. Let's move on to heart rate. Okay. Now, according to Allen, he defines heart rate as the number of times that the heart muscle contracts or beats, average for a specific period of time. But usually it's 1 minute, no, to just to check yung heart rate natin. When you check your heart rate, now may mga varied methods tayo. For example, pwede yung ating carotid pulse, ang ating radial pulse, ang ating temporal pulse, and also yung tinatawag natin ang ating brachial pulse. And some they are using assistive devices. Sa atin, if you want to measure the number of times your heart beats, so you can use your fingers. And ang maximum, again, ang maximum heart rate ng isang individual ay 220. But when it comes to checking or knowing your maximum heart rate, again, ano nga po ang ating formula, students? What is the formula if you want to know your maximum heart rate? What is our formula? Okay, yes, that is correct. Ang ating formula to get your maximum heart rate is 220 minus your age. Very good, Rainson. So 220 minus your age is the formula on how to get your maximum heart rate. Now, when you monitor your heart rate, no, this will allow you to check yung transition of activities, if it's in a moderate or na ang engagement nyo ay nasa moderate or vigorous intensity level. Well, there are meron tayong mga target, for example, for usually the 20 years old, ang ating mga target heart rate zone, kung 50 to 85%, no, nasa 100 to 170 beats per minute siya. Ang average naman na maximum heart rate ay nasa 200 beats per minute. And also, we have yung resting heart rate nyo, no? Defines heart rate as okay, so the muscles contracts, okay, usually in 1 minute po. Okay, resting heart rate, diyan naman po it's better, no, na when you get your resting heart rate, ito po ay when you wake up in the morning. Next is the rate of perceived exertion. Now, this is used to measure the intensity of your activity. Now, may mga methods tayo kasi meron siyang, you can rate your exertion. Meron tayong, it would just scale to 0 to 10. meron naman tayong another scale, yung kay Borg scale, na ang rate ang exertion ay starting from 6 points. Now, kapag 6 points siya, it means no exertion. And then for 20 points, that is for the maximum exertion. Okay, in addition, no, paano natin yan, no, yung, meron kasi, there are 3 observable indicators when you use to measure your RPE. So it can be your elevated heart rate, pwede rin yung increase of breathing rate, or even yung muscle fatigue. Now, how are you going to analyze your RPE status? You can estimate your rate of perceived exertion if you are going to multiply it by 10. Okay. If you think your activity merit it's on the scale of 14, then you will just have to multiply that by 10. Okay, which makes your heartbeat in 140 kasi i-multiply natin siya by 10. Now, the purpose of this self-monitoring is not just to compare your rate of perceive of exertion with others. Okay, kasi po maaaring unique ang inyong RPE result. Now, for example, you are just laying on the couch. Nagre-relax lang kayo sa couch ninyo, no? Now, somehow, ang rate of perceived exertion natin, yung 0 to 10, that would be 0. Pero sabi natin, pag Borg scale, it's 6 to 20, no? So, for pag Borg scale, ang rate of perceived exertion ninyo ay 6. Now, and then for example, gumawa na kayo ng mga washing the dishes. You could consider your exertion na very light lang siya. So again, ang exertion natin, it can be no exertion or none. It can be very light, moderately, hard, very hard, o yung tinatawag nating maximum effort. Siyempre, kapag maximum effort, kapag 0 to 10 tayo, the RPE scale mo ay 10. And for Borg scale mo, it would reach up to 20. So it can be in a form na nag-sprint ka, okay, or you're doing aerobic activities, you know, or even a short burst of physical activity. Now, monitoring your heart rate, your rate of perceived exertion, this would definitely help you to or guide you in the maintenance and monitoring of your safe zone before you engage to such participation, lalo na sa mga outdoor activities like swimming and also camping. So that's the importance of the different physiological indicators associated with some physical activities, particularly like this outdoor recreational activities like camping and swimming. And also, ang huli natin, we have their pacing. So ano naman po yung tinatawag nating pacing? Now, pacing, this refers to the rate of doing physical activities like what you've mentioned earlier, no? You can walk in a slow, or when you engage to a certain movement, it can be slow, or you can do this quickly. Now, pacing, it will allow you to change the way you perform a physical activity, and you can also see yung changes, no? For example, considering yung recreational camping and swimming, this can be a passive recreation, and maaaring you have here a slow pacing. And para ma-monitor mo ang iyong pacing, when you monitor your pacing, you can have the following steps to check on your pace when it comes to recreational activity, particularly a passive recreational activity. We have there establish, the first one is you have to establish your baseline for each activity. Now, ano ba yung baseline natin? When it comes to baseline, it is yung this is the amount of activity, okay, before you flare up, okay. Now, in this case, at least, no, you might walk kung sa hiking, for example, before you go to the camping site as well. Hiking may require you to walk for a certain distance going to the campsite, as what we have mentioned, no. And here, you might consider checking your heart rate kung nasa steady beat ba siya while you are walking. So that's how you can establish your baseline for this for a certain activity. Next, you could also check when you set a rest or break time if you plan to perform the activity kung chunks of time lang, mga hindi biglaan, unti-unti. Now, for example, nag-outdoor swimming, recreational swimming. Okay. It's also important you have a lot of time to rest, especially if you could feel na yung if you could feel the muscle fatigue. But for outdoor camping, hindi naman masyado require ng movement, okay? Well, unless there are certain physical activities na you have to be physically active as you participate. Next is gradually and systematically increase your tolerance by setting goals. Now, yung increase ng baseline natin from a passive recreational activity, that would definitely depend on certain challenge, on certain things that you might challenge yourself. Well, it's really important no that you really have to keep on track yung baseline mo para at least yung progress that may takes place hindi rin masyado nakaka-pressure. Now we have these physiological indicators, no. It's a kind of signal kung paano magre-respond ang inyong katawan, okay? Yung mga body organs natin to varied physical activities na ginagawa mo. Having the physiological indicators, it will allow you to check your progress. Also, when it comes to the intensity ng inyong activity, sabi natin when it comes to heart rate, no? Are you engaging already into a vigorous activity from moderate, then vigorous activity na ang ginagawa mo. Now, the intensity level of the activity varies, syempre, with your age, also with the lifestyle, and even your engagement. It would vary para sa inyong mga physiological indicators. And lastly, this is very important that you have to recognize itong mga changes na yan para at least you could also analyze no anong naitutulong, anong benefit, and anong impact ng recreational activities na inyong isinasagawa. Okay? So that's for the outdoor recreational activity for camping and swimming, and also some of the tips no how to analyze such physiological indicators appropriate to a physical activity. Now, for our activity, no, I want you to have a 1-minute essay. So I want you to think, okay, of your answer, since we deal with outdoor camping and recreational swimming. For this, I want you to answer this question for 1 minute. I want you to think on how are you going to prepare for an outdoor camping and swimming in terms of your physiological indicators. Nalaman natin anong kahalagahan, okay, ng physiological indicators, okay, now appropriate for outdoor camping and swimming. What are the things that you need to consider for this kind of activity? So I'm giving you 1 minute, and then after 1 minute, no, as you think, you can type already sa ating chat box on how are you going to prepare for an outdoor camping and swimming. So I'm giving you 1 minute to think and also type in your chat box. And later on, I'm going to read as you share your answer to our lesson for today. Okay? So I'm giving you 1 minute to answer. And once you're done, just send sa ating chat box. While we are waiting po for your answer, let me greet po ang ibang ang ating mga participants. No, we have Micael Joyce Abelgues. She's a student from General de Leon National High School from Valenzuela. Also to Annalyn Gonzales Dano, good morning po, watching from Kidapawan City Division. And now it's time for you to share po your answer. How are you going to prepare for an outdoor camping and swimming? Aside from the preparation that you have to bring, the planning, where will be the outdoor camping and swimming? So let's just focus when it comes to the physiological indicators. How are you going to prepare? Let me have, what are your answers po? All right. Okay, let's have here Aquino's answer, no, Samuel, no? So, syempre, he would check his heart rate, yung kanyang body temperature, and yung blood pressure, okay, before going to an outdoor camping. Okay, o baka ka, meron na, no, kung baka mataas ang dugo mo as well, and this would hinder you to enjoy the activity. So better to check your heart rate, your body temperature, lalo na ngayon sa panahon ngayon, you have to check, baka may sakit ka. It better not to go and engage to a certain activity like outdoor camping and swimming. For Cedric, no, sabi niya din, your body should, our body should be physically ready. Okay, yes, that's right. Yes, with your blood pressure, your heart rate as well. Okay, since for example, for it would require, before going to a camp, no, maaaring may long distance walk muna before you go to your campsite. Yes, that's correct. Also, Cedric, no. If you're not really prepared, you will feel tired while doing the activity. So essential that you have to check on the different physiological indicators. For lanolin, before engaging to a passive recreational activity like swimming and camping, okay, you should prepare your self pacing, no. Your rate of perceived exertion, your heart rate, for you to physically condition yourself, and eventually be productive while you're doing the activity. Yes, very good answer on that. Yes, so yan ang ating mga some examples, no. Those are the things that you can prepare when it comes to your physiological indicators, so that you could really enjoy the outdoor camping or recreational swimming that you would want to do with your family and friends. Thank you again for your participation. I guess you really understand what the importance of physiological indicators, especially also these days, before you engage to such a recreational activity. Okay, and again, marami pong salamat sa inyong pakikiisa for this ETUlay online tutorial for health optimizing physical education. And if you have comments po and suggestion, feel free to email us at edtech@deped.gov.ph. Thank you po sa inyong pakikinig at participation, and let me end with this proverb po, no? The body heals with play, the mind heals with laughter, and the spirit heals with joy. Now, I hope, despite of the things that we experience or what we encounter, no, please don't be too hard on yourself. Let ourselves play, let ourselves smile or laugh, and let's enjoy life. Thank you po, and see you again next week for another online tutorial for health optimizing physical education for week 5. Thank you, and keep safe, everybody. God bless.
Sigurado ako na marami ka na namang natutuhan sa ating ETUlay tutorial session ngayong araw. Tandaan, ito ay hindi lamang para sa ating mga mag-aaral, kundi pati rin sa ating mga minamahal na guro at mga magulang na kaagapay natin para maituloy ang pagkatuto sa kabila ng nararanasang pandemya. Patuloy ding sumubaybay sa DepEd TV para sa mga araling ginawang video episodes. Mapapanood ito mula Lunes hanggang Sabado, alas 7 ng umaga hanggang alas 7 ng gabi sa inyong mga telebisyon. Abangan bukas mula 1:00 ng tanghali ang iba pang aralin sa ating ETUlay free online tutorial session sa Filipino. I-like and subscribe at manatiling nakasubaybay sa ating ETUlay tutorial session sa DepEd Edtech Unit FB page at Educational Technology Unit channel sa YouTube at sa DepEd Tayo at DepEd Philippines social media accounts. Paalam!